In my many years of covering 2K news, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, guys. We have now gotten 3 patches on 2K26 in 3 days. And these aren't just small changes. So of course, we're going to get straight into the patch notes. For those of you that have seen it, I still want to go over it. For the people that haven't, then of course, we've got to look at actual video footage of what was changed, because 2K can say, hey, we changed this slightly or whatever, but you got to actually play the game to see what has changed, plus my opinion on the patch, because as you guys see, I actually got to play a little bit of it, and I'm going to give you my first thoughts on it, just like I did for the last patch. I never even got to give my full thoughts because I hadn't fully, actually, in my opinion, played the game enough to give my real opinion on it, like my final thoughts before they changed the game again. So that's why I think a lot of people didn't also get to do that, because it's my job and I still didn't get to play it enough to give my opinion before they changed the game again. But look, anyway, guys, let's go one by one. I told you all I was going to upload twice a day if we hit the like goal, so I'm going to be a man of my word for y'all and get to the gym real late today. Unfortunately, when everyone is there's going to be someone sitting on my machine for 10 minutes, and at least I can say, while I'm thinking, damn, I'm not going to be able to get that machine, I at least was a man of my word for you guys, okay? So look, Evan posted the patch notes right here, and he said, returned ball collision sensitivity on escape dribble moves to pre-patch 2.0 levels based on community feedback. The improved responsiveness for well-timed intentional steal attempts remain. Updated the shot meter to properly reflect the green window bonuses of the poster machine takeover today. So they're saying what they took away from Blur is now added into poster machine. Resolved a reported hang that could occur when attempting to load a My Career save, and fixed the hang following a press conference in the out of bounds story mode. So let's talk about this real quick, man. Let me just show you guys this tweet that I've seen, which was pretty funny. This guy said, damn, y'all couldn't give us more than 2 days? And EK responded and said, half-court fadeaways, 7 for 7 every game, and they kept saying they're monitoring the situation for 2 months. Now, obviously, it wasn't 2 months because the game hasn't been out that long, but he's making a joke that they kept saying, hey, we're monitoring it, while people were just fading away from 30 feet, but they were able to change this in like 2 days? It's crazy. It's actually crazy. So let's look at the number one hot topic, which was the bump steals, right? The added buff to the collision, and now they have changed it, okay? So this right here is what you're going to start seeing on 2K26 again. Now you guys might be like, whoa, that says season 1. That's the season 1 court right there, Badge. You're lying to us. Well, at least I don't think I'm lying to you, because the patch came out I think it was like 10 hours before the new season came out, something close to that, okay? But I'm going to show you guys some season 2 footage as well from me personally. But look, this is what my boy Bert said. This is 2K's logic intentionally trying versus unintentionally trying to blitz, so we're going to go back to where it was going through the body again. All right, so let's play one more from Johnny Red, who says this. He was a former 2K League professional, and he goes, patch just dropped first game. It has been reverted, dribble right through me. And you see it's at 5 a.m., so this was after the patch, at least that he made this tweet, all right? Someone could be finessing and showing the game. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, let's play it, okay? So you see, a little out of bounds right here, inbound, Johnny Red. He's double teaming this dribbler as he comes up the court, basically because they're up 5 points, so you might as well, but they do have a popper. Okay, so look, they got 2 guys on one. He's going to try to make it over. The ball goes right through him, and then Braden Bain. So again, the ball is able to go through defenders, and it's crazy because I told you guys that I was okay with the last patch. If you actually watched the videos, I was okay with it. I said if I had to pick one, I would keep the steals where they are versus having no steals. All right? I said 2K is usually not good at being in the middle ground, but this is what they did. They did attempt to bring us to the middle ground. So anyway, let me show you guys. This is what happened to me today as I was playing the game. And I feel like I blitzed this literally perfectly. And, my guy reached with his right hand, which is crazy right there. But, he should have reached with his left hand. But the ball clearly went through my body. So it's happening again. I can tell you for sure. But I do want to just alleviate a little bit of the pain for you guys that were very happy with the last patch. Now you're probably going to be a little bit upset, because people were upset with it And then people were like, yeah, real basketball is back. I will tell you, they didn't lie about the blitz steals necessarily. Like, the logic is now it's messed up again where the ball does go through people's bodies, but there is definitely 100% way more steals when you actually have skill and you're blitzing the ball and stuff than there was before this big patch and the last big patch. You know what I'm saying? Like, the normal 2K26 that we had for like the whole first month where the ball would just go through your body. It is definitely not like that now, but it's in the middle. Okay, that's what I can say to you guys. So don't freak out too much. But yes, the ball is going through people's bodies again. It's just the logic wasn't correct before this patch either. You know, I told you guys that the logic wasn't perfect when that patch was out. And now, of course, we have this middle ground. But again, the logic, it's never going to be perfect is all I've got to say, guys. But really, why do you not give us enough time? I didn't even get time to really play the game. So please, 2K, give us at least like a week, 2 weeks before we change the game again. I've seen too many patches. Yeah, I get to make a video and make money off of every time they drop a patch or whatever. I still don't want them to drop a patch. Please give us some time to understand what the new game is. All right. Anyway, February said 26 at this stage is the most balanced it's been since the game came out. I'm happy with where the game came out, truthfully, after today. Now, he was one of the people that was against where the game was a day or two ago. Okay, but Grinding said, patch feels amazing, steals are still there, but for skillful reaches, if ball handler runs into you like a dummy, only thing is fades are low-key a little back. Like, I can green fades at the top of the key again. Here, see what I mean for yourself. Okay, so he was putting his link to his video below that. My bad. Okay, so he was saying that fadeaways are a little bit back. Now, one of the games I played today, this guy, he was on a small guard and he was fading consistently with his small guard. Now, was he cheating? I don't know, but that is the one time today I've seen someone consistently fading from three. I don't know if they've done an actual secret buff or something to fading threes. You guys let me know how you feel. I haven't actually done a lot of fading shots to be able to even test it, but let's keep going. Lamonsta said, at Baluba, you went crazy with this patch. You deserve your flowers. So we got a few more things to talk about after we go through some people's opinions of the patch. IQ Contained, he said 2K26 feels perfect after the new patch that fixed unnecessary bump steals and blitzes. They're still in the game, but it's not excessive / unnecessary. Game speed feels better too. I'm being so serious. So in the last video, we talked about multiple people from my team and my career, so Park and stuff as well, reporting that the game speed felt slower, and now they're saying it feels back to normal. Now, one thing I want to say is I've seen some people saying, like, stop lying about the game speed badge. Bro, I said nothing about it. When I report on someone's tweet, I'm just going off what they say. And I'm not saying their opinion or whatever is gospel. I'm showing it to you for you to look at on your screen and say, okay. Now, if I read the tweet and I'm like, hey, I agree with that. That's also what I've experienced. Obviously, I don't know why I even have to say these things, but you guys get it. Anyway, this is Dimework, who's a more simulation basketball player if you guys are in the 2K community. So I was a little bit surprised by this with this patch where he says, I think we can all agree this was the right move. Although it solved the escape dribble cheese and crabbing, it still wasn't perfect or ideal. No one should be knocking the ball loose without any real effort. Yes, you can say the ball handler shouldn't dribble into defenders, but what about when the defender simply runs into the ball handler? That's not good gameplay either. It's not impossible to dribble in close quarters, but the game wasn't really accommodating that. A fix is needed and I'm sure they'll figure it out, but reverting it for now is a good move in my opinion. So it's going to be really interesting to see what 2K does with this, but I can tell you guys for sure that, again, I'm okay with where the game is right now. You know, I said it with the last patch. So it's just unbelievable to me that people will be like, you guys complained and look where we're at. You got, like, bro, I can literally say, guys, don't change the game. Don't change anything. And 2K will change something and people will be in the comments like, you complained about this. How dare you? Like, bro, just keep the game where it's at now. Again, I'm fine currently with where it's at. I do want to play the game more. I don't have my final, like, yes, the game should stay this way for the rest of the year, right? But I want it to stay where it's at after I played today. Keep playing it because it didn't feel bad. Yes, I showed a few clips of people dribbling through, and yes, it sucks. I know the collision system's not perfect, but it wasn't perfect before this patch either. Like Dimework said, you could just run into people and they would lose the ball. So again, it's not perfect, but please keep the game where it's at. All right, so look, there was some drama in the 2K community. Very long story short, Joe Knows was being blamed for patches because he has a lot of influence on the game. Mike Wang, people were doing educated guesses from the outside looking in that, Mike Wang has like basically a bias towards Joe Knows and his team because every time he's not caught, but every time someone captures him speaking to the community through streams, he's in Joe Knows stream or his team stream, right? So they were saying, Joe Knows is responsible for this game. He's responsible. His team is responsible for how the game is, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, Mike Wang appeared in someone else's stream, Chalk, and he said, I am everywhere. So I just want to let you guys know, and I don't know this fully, but I can tell you from what I have known, from what I've been told a few times from multiple different people, is that 2K has lots of people on all sorts of platforms. Mike Wang, he might be watching this video right now. Shout out to Mike. Another 2K employee might be watching this. They got people on Reddit. They got people on Twitch. They got people on YouTube. I promise you, they're not just blindly making changes. Now, what I can say is that I don't know if they're testing the changes enough, okay? Because there's no way, right? Like 3 patches in 3 days, there's no way that was just tested enough. They just feel like they just drop it and they're like, all right, let's see what people say. Mike Wang just changes the sliders a little bit. All right, let's see what people say. But anyway, let's keep going. People were asking for more changes. Okay, so Not Elite Shooter, I think he was in the 2K League. He said, can you buff fades a little? There's like 5 shooting badges in the game, and you made one of them basically useless. He's talking about Shifty Shooter. Not saying we need to be able to fade from everywhere without the badge, but a 25, 26-foot fade, I'm basically hugging the line. I got a 99.3. So people are wanting changes again with the game, and I don't even know. Look, this guy, Dribbling, he said, now if only we could make open/wide open fades again somewhat consistently, I think the game would be in a great place. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think fades should fall if timed correctly, open/wide open. And now, I'm not saying that he's completely wrong. Like, if you're wide open on a on-the-line three-pointer and you've got sharpshooting takeover and jump shot boost and lethals, it shouldn't be like a shot that you're not comfortable with taking, right? Like, NBA players do dribble pull-ups. You know what I'm saying? But all I just please keep the game how it is for 1 week. Okay, now look, Johnny Red also said new poster machine gives you a full meter just like how Blur was, but also he was wide open on a dunk, so I do want to see more. But it does seem like they put what was in Blur into Poster Machine, which is actually really cool because Poster Machine gives you contact dunks and stuff that you don't even have unlocked. So it basically gives you a 99 driving dunk. It gives you all the contact dunk packages in the game. Now, Koza said this about the patch. I'm team patch 2.0, so the patch before this, over 2.1 for the escape patch. Not gonna lie, but I'm hoping there's a happy middle in the future. Just hate fake comp, brain dead dribbling being rewarded. The game's definitely more fun now. It just sucks playing against someone abusing the escape into someone over and over. If they soft buff fades again, I might have a mental breakdown live with a face cam because I'm still fading from 3 now, and if they buff that, it's GG's. So he's saying that he's still fading just fine, and he does not want there to be another buff to fading 3s. I have not faded enough to even tell you how I feel about it, really. I've only got a little bit in on the first day of the big patch, but then there was a hitch. So then the next day, I was like, all right, now I'm going to try fadeaways, but then my teammate kept lagging out. If you guys have been watching the videos, he was taking jump shots, and every time he took a shot, he lagged out. And then I think a day went by where I didn't really get to play the game that much, and they changed the game again. And now it's like, okay, please let me play it. Let me please play the game before you change it. But guys, look, let me know how you feel about it. Everything in the comment section down below. The game is not perfect. It wasn't perfect before. It wasn't perfect when the game came out. It's not perfect now. But the game is getting closer to a middle ground. At least 2K tried to do a middle ground patch is what I'll say. And I'm out of here. Peace.